All right. Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday. I just uploaded a vlog last night that I filmed primarily yesterday. And today is the last day I have before I go back to work. I had the last 2 days off, yeah. So it's not really like a reset day, it's more like a prep day. And I also am going to Arizona in a couple days, so I guess I'm also kind of prepping for that. I'm doing laundry right now. I just put in a load, and oh my god, my mouth is so dry. I need something to drink, like really immediately. But yeah, I'm gonna do laundry. Then I have, what else do I have? There's like one other big thing that I need to do. I do need to go grocery shopping for sure. Oh, I have to finish Eileen because tomorrow is the only day I can really take it back to the Beverly Hills Library before it's due. And LA has very lax library policies, like the return policy. I never turn my books in late, but if I did in LA, I don't think I would be charged with anything. That made it sound like I would be like under arrest or something. I mean, I wouldn't have any late fees, but in Beverly Hills, they do things a little differently, and I don't want to turn this in late. So I have 2 books I need to turn in. I guess I'm not gonna read There, or maybe I could have it renewed like for a second time. I don't know. I just never started it, and then I don't know how much time I have left, and obviously I'm going to be out of town for a while, so I don't know, I might return that and then maybe check it out later or something. But I have about 100 pages left of this book, so I'm just gonna like read this today. I don't have to film anything today, so that gives me some extra time and just mental energy where I'm like, I don't have to worry about other things, you know? So I'm gonna finish this. And then, yeah, I have to go get some groceries. I think I'm gonna get a rotisserie chicken because that'll be good for the next couple days before we leave to eat. Me and my boyfriend are doing a calorie deficit right now, and I really need to figure out things that I can track that are like easy or easier. It's kind of ironic because sometimes like the more healthy foods that I feel like would be better to eat are so difficult or annoying to track that I end up eating things that are like packaged, that I'm like, well, at least I know how many calories are in this. I'm gonna try to be better about doing that kind of math beforehand, or doing it as much as possible beforehand, so that it makes it easier to track some of those things that otherwise aren't. And I don't know, just makes it better in terms of like eating real whole foods and stuff. So yeah, that's happening. And then what else? I guess that's all for now. It's actually kind of cool today. It's been so hot, and I'm wearing a jacket right now, so yeah. Okay, it's the next day. Thursday? Yeah. Today I actually start training at a new position at my work. I don't want to talk about it because I'm really not supposed to talk about it. Like, I'm not supposed to talk about certain things at work. And I don't want to, especially now that I'm like getting a promotion or whatever. I don't want to, I guess,
cross any boundaries. So I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm just, yeah, I got this opportunity last week to get a different position at work. And so I was kind of nervous. Like, I didn't take it immediately. I told my manager that I would think about it. And then I talked to my therapist a little bit about it and like my hesitation to agree to move into this position. And I kind of have this hesitancy in general. This goes way beyond just this situation, but a hesitancy, I guess, to move forward in things, and kind of like that self-saboteur situation I really relate to in certain aspects. So I kind of needed to take the job just to prove that I could move forward, I guess, and maybe gain some confidence. So yeah, I start training today, and then I think not next week, but maybe the week after is my first official day working that position, I guess. So that's kind of exciting, but I am a little nervous, but it's okay to be nervous. But really what I wanted to come on here and talk about, I've been called to speak about the whole analog trend and how it was really big, I think, last year and like moving into this year. And then there's some like pushback, and it seems like people are of two minds. They're either really into it or really against it. And I think the reason that people would be against it is that it seems to fuel just more consumerism, especially with like the analog bag trend, and people buying things to be off of their phone. I'm thinking like knitting materials and puzzles and coloring books and things like that. I think that's a little bit different than when because I really was into the whole analog thing, and I still am. But I don't know. I think there's anytime something becomes popular and people just start going out and buying things, or to me even worse, trying to sell you things, should be off of your phone. I mean, it's deeply ironic, right? You're on your phone making a video telling people how to be off your phone. But I think my thing is that going analog is not going to cure your phone addiction unless you're like the type of person that completely gets rid of your phone and like gets a dumb phone or whatever. I think that works for some people, but I would never suggest getting rid of your phone. Smartphones are an amazing piece of technology, and they do so much. They can do so much. Like, I definitely for the last couple years fantasized about getting a BlackBerry. That was like my dream. Like, I just wanted the BlackBerry Curve. I thought like it would heal some part of my childhood that always wanted one when I was a kid. You can't really, like, I don't know of anyone that's actually been able to like get a BlackBerry and have it actually in service and functioning. Maybe you can, but I definitely checked it out and tried to see if that was like possible for me, and it really wasn't. It didn't seem like it. And I've come around a lot to be like, I really am appreciative of my smartphone and everything that it can do for me, and it just makes life easier. But there's also the part where as technology makes life easier, and it also makes us less capable of thinking and doing things for ourselves. And that is scary. Like, and the whole AI thing of people using it so casually, because they don't want to put in a little bit of extra work to figure something out themselves, and maybe do like a little bit of research on something, or I don't know. I feel like people just use it for the most basic things that they could do themselves. And I do think it makes you less curious, and it makes you honestly stupider. So I am very anti-AI, but I'm not anti-technology, and I think that I don't think it's necessary to get rid of your smartphone. I do think that if you really want to get off of your phone, if you think that you're spending too much time on your phone, you probably are. And there is other ways to go about it than buying a bunch of stuff. And I think the biggest one is like the most obvious one of, if you're on TikTok a lot, just delete the app. If you're on Instagram a lot, just delete the app. Or if you need those things for your work, there's plenty of apps that you can download that will block certain apps on your phone for a certain amount of time. I think there's like easier ways to deal with your phone addiction than getting rid of your phone, or buying a bag on Amazon to put a bunch of stuff in that you'll maybe use like 4 times before you get tired of it and just reach for TikTok. That being said, the reason I thought about this is because I just got a new CD in the mail, and I have been buying CDs, and I've mostly been renting DVDs from the library. I did buy Magnolia, the DVD. It hasn't come yet. But that's a movie that I like to watch like once a year. It's my favorite movie. So I think it is better to own it, because it's not streamable for free online. And so every time I watch it, I have to rent it. So it honestly costs less for me to own like a eBay copy of the movie. But in general, I think that the biggest benefit of analog media, at least, I'm not speaking to like crafting and different things that you can do off your phone, because I really don't do any of that. I don't know. The biggest benefit for me, at least, is I guess the removal of the option fatigue that we feel, especially like scrolling through Netflix or HBO Max or whatever. I could spend more time looking for something than actually just watching something, and there's just too many options, and it's really overwhelming. I mean, option fatigue is like a real thing. I don't know if that's the exact phrase or terminology, but I think we all know by now that that is a thing, and that having too many options is kind of like a paralyzing feeling that you get. And I think putting on like a CD, if I want to listen to music, it kind of eliminates that. Obviously, I have to pick the CD, sure, okay, but once it's on, I'm not like flipping through the songs. I'm not choosing which song goes next. It's just, it does it for me, right? And so I can kind of turn off my brain. I have, all these CDs I've gotten secondhand, so I'm not spending a ton of money on them, but it does feel like a more peaceful way to consume music. I don't have Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that. So when I want to listen to a song, I have to like go through YouTube and look for the song, or I have playlists on my YouTube. But I don't know, it's a nice relaxing feeling to just put on a CD and let it play through. And also in my car, I don't have an aux cord, so if I want to listen to music, it's so much easier to just play a CD. And then yeah, with the DVDs, it's the same thing. I go to the DVD. It's like when we used to go to Blockbuster or like Redbox and we'd pick out a few DVDs, and then we'd go home and it's like, well, I know what I'm watching because I have these DVDs and I have to return them in 7 days. So it really takes that feeling of, oh my God, there's so many options. I don't know what I want to watch. It takes that completely out of it. So to me, that's the biggest benefit of analog media. So I don't know, I guess that was all I really had to say about it. I have, since deleting TikTok again, my screen time when I did re-download TikTok was like 6 hours, and now it's back down to around 3 hours. I would like to get it down to maybe 2 hours at the most. I also think just not having the phone in the room that you're in is really helpful. Like sometimes when I feel like I've been grabbing my phone a lot, I'll just keep it in the kitchen or something. Am I allowed to film? It just cut me off because I'm out of storage. Okay, I'm gonna go.